everyone. Today I have a really fun class called Double Wonder for you. It is a play on the One Sheet Wonder classes that you may have heard about, where you take a 12 by 12 sheet of DSP and use all the parts of it on a set number of cards. So there's little to no waste out of that 12 by 12 sheet of paper. Well, this was a class shared by one of my only demonstrator development manager, Shannon West, and I forget the demonstrator that she got this from. But so she's one of my leaders, so to speak, far up the chain in Stampin' Up. And what this class does is, rather than one sheet of 12 by 12 where you only have one side and the back, this takes two designs. So as you cut it up and turn it over, you will get four designs that will interact with each other and go together. So you want to pick four designs, or two different sheets that you think they all kind of go together. So you probably want to stick within one pack of DSP from the same family of DSP. You could mix and match across the families, but you'd have to do a little more thinking about, do these designs all go together? And now, as you are doing your cards or choosing your designs, you probably want to think about, do these if there's a right side up sort of thing. I think I might have cut this piece. I should have thought to make sure that the birds were going this way. So I'm going to pause and see if I can find another sheet of DSP. Okay, I found another one. So it's going to be a little bit different than I had been thinking. I was kind of trying to not have two of the white backgrounds with the colors, but I am down to not so many pieces left in my Bird Ballad DSP, and this will be fine because we will just intersperse it with the layers and we'll just see how it turns out. So the key when you're doing this is you want to cut the 12 by 12 down to 6 by 6 so that if you have a up and down sort of design, you cut it horizontally. So then we'll cut it, so we have to turn sideways, because then when we cut and turn it the way we're going to be cutting pieces off, then it will be right side up. So then we will have this one, it doesn't matter, it just goes anyway. And even on the other side it doesn't matter, but this, we did have one where we're going to be cutting it like this, and we want to have our birds facing the correct direction. Okay, so now we are going to be cutting these right on top of each other. Saves time, and if you're nervous and you want to do them separately, you can. It'll take you twice as long to cut, and I am going to show you how to do it the double way. Now, just because I don't want to forget to cut this and have to jump back in, I am going to do, on our first set of cards, there are going to be four of this layout. They have this little background piece, so we're going to cut that first just so I don't forget about that. And I have my little cheat sheet down here. So these pieces are going to be, and this is just an extra sheet. Oh yeah, let me go through the things really quick. Don't want to forget that. So I chose a bunch of different ribbon that would complement the cards, I thought. You could use all the same spool of ribbon if you want, but it's a 10 card class, so you're going to need 5 card bases, and I picked 5 different colors just to give myself a good variety, and I have already cut them. It's the 8.5 by 11, so I always score at 4 1/4, and then I turn and cut at 5 1/2 when I want the top and side folding, the side folding cards. That's how I feel like these ones stand up better. When you fold them, they stand up better than when you make them the top folding cards. Anyway, so for this class with the Bird Ballad DSP, I just looked on the back of the paper pack and picked out 5 colors. This is Crumb Cake, Old Olive, Calypso Coral, Whisper White Thick, and then Daffodil Delight. So that's, and then you will need 1 sheet of Whisper White Regular. And we're going to cut this into 5 by 3 1/4. So I'm going to do the 3 1/4, and the 3 1/4. And I have this extra part that we will use for punching these punches out. And then you could cut these together, save yourself a little bit of time again. And so this one then is 5. And then I just carefully grab these, make sure they're still lined up. I just match it back at that. Lay that down. 5. Pretty sure we don't use these for anything. I throw them in my scrap bin and then they're there if I need them. So then we have our 1, 2, whoopsies, 3, 4 pieces of 5 by 3 1/4 that will layer behind these pieces we're going to cut now. And that is when we bring in the DSP. Oh, at the end, I will show you 2 other sets of Double Wonder cards made with the Tropical Oasis DSP. That was what Shannon had featured in her class, Shannon West. And then also the Magnolia that I picked out and did last night to practice for this class. I really like those ones. I have not got the Magnolia Suite, but I got the paper, and I'm glad I did. It was really fun. Okay, so get into this class. So we're going to cut, let me show you this really quick. So this is what Shannon had cut or put up for us. So we're kind of thinking of this in 3 sections, and we're starting at this piece over here, and we're going to be cutting 12 pieces, 6 out of each. So, you know, we're cutting, anyways, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the top, and since you're cutting top and bottom together, 6 plus 6 is 12, and they're all going to turn out to be 1 1/2 by 3 inches, and we're going to use all 12 of those pieces on 4 cards. So that's, we're starting first. And honestly, it doesn't matter which end you cut from. You just need this piece to be, let me double check, 4 1/2. Yep. And we're going to make sure that our designs are going vertically, and we're going to cut off 4 1/2 inches. Yes, yep. Measure twice, or check your measurements twice, and then cut once. So this is 4 1/2 right now, and we're going to be cutting this piece twice more at 1 1/2. So just to help you think through and see how this makes sense, you got 1 1/2 is the first section cut, and then you're cutting again at 1 1/2. So that's 1 1/2 plus 1 1/2 is 3. And if you've got 4 1/2 minus 3, that third section left is 1 1/2. So 1 1/2, 1 1/2, 1 1/2, 1, 2, 3, 4 1/2, if that helps you. Okay. It helps me to think of that stuff, because then if I have it in my head as I make this again, I maybe won't need to look at the diagram. I'll just kind of have those things in my mind and it'll make sense. So we're doing 1 1/2, and then keeping your sheets together, 1 1/2, and now these ones I cut individually. So then you're gonna cut, so we had, remember it was 6 by 12, and we cut it, we cut off this way at 4 1/2, so that means going along, or we're still 6, yeah, we cut this way at 4 1/2, so it's 6 inches tall, just so you know, 6 inches, and so we need this at 3, cutting them in half, 3, and at 3, and they can all just go in a pile. We will sort them out in a minute. And 3 again. So then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's what we said, 12 pieces, and they are 3 inches by 1.5, and that's what I've got. So this is good to go with these 4 cards, and we'll pick I'm going to put them off camera over in the corner, and then we can pick up our DSP. I'm going to cut all the DSP at once, and we'll just have it all in a line, and then we can grab as we need it. Okay, so my SD card was full, and so it shut off my recording, but I noticed right away. So I'm going to just jump back in where I was. We are going to cut off our second panel. So if you want to look at this sheet again, we've done this end with the 12 pieces of 1.5 by 3. Now we're going to work on our center one, which, if you can see in here, is going to be cutting off a 3/4 inch piece along here. So it's going to be 3/4 inches by 4 inches. We'll cut off first. And then we're going to cut off 8 pieces, so 4 on top and then 4 on the bottom sheet, at 1 inch by 5.25 is what's left after. We have 6 inches minus 3/4 is going to be 5.25. So if that all makes sense. So when we have our first the cut in is, we are cutting 3.5, because it needs to be 3.5 by 6, and so we have so we are going to be doing our second panel now, and I am going to cut off 4 inches, and then we will be left with a 3.5 piece for the third panel. So we're cutting on, and it, like I said, it doesn't matter what end we're cutting from. I'm just cutting it this way because it is easiest for me with how my paper trimmer is. So 4 inches this way by 6 inches down, and we're always making sure that our design is up and down if it needs to be. Okay, so we got 4 inches, and left we've got the 3.5. Okay, so then we're going to be turning this and cutting off a 3/4 inch piece. We're going to set that aside, so we have 3/4 by 4. And then with this piece that we have left, we're going to cut off 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, and we'll be left with another inch. So we're going to have 4 1-inch pieces. So we got 4 inches, 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and then they are all 5. Whoops, I got a little bit. So then 5.25. Okay, put those in a pile, and those are all going to make these kinds of cards, 4 of these kind. And then with our remaining section, it is that 3.5 inch by 6 inch part. We are going to cut 2.25 and then another 2.25. So we've got 2.25 and then 2.25. Okay, and then we're left with this little extra piece that is 1.5 by 3.5. So we'll save that. So then I will get my cutter out of the way. We will bring it back in for some scoring on the second set of cards. Alright, so now I'm going to fan out my colors so that I can choose the ones I like best. And I will actually bring these down a little bit so that I can set these up here. I'd like you to be able to see it so you can have it if this helps you. So then I am going to be working with these. Move this down a little tiny bit. Move these down. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is actually lay out these four so we can design our card. And now yours are going to be different, and you can still be doing the same process even though you won't necessarily have these designs. So I am going for this look. So we're going to pick 3 panels on each card, and what I think is fun is just to kind of not have one panel in the same spot if possible. So let's go like this. We're gonna have, try to get 2 of each, I think. So that's that one, and 2 pinks. Okay, so then let's do 3 of each. 1. Okay, so then I've got 3 with the flowers, 3 with the birds, 3 with the pink, and 3 with the green. So that's what I mean. You'll have 3 of each design to work with. So then I'll just start with the bird and maybe do a pink. Now, there. I'm kind of liking this kind of thing where if I'm having these open designs, oh, I'm a little bit off camera. There we go. There, now you can see that one. Actually, I think I'll just raise it up because then you won't be able to see that end. There we go. So then let's try having a flower in the middle and put those designs, and then just because we'll switch those around so then they're on different cards, and we can use, instead of a flower, we can use a bird, so that's different. And then we only have 3 left, so let's see. This is gonna be my solid design in the middle with, I've already got a flower there, so then I'll put it here. And then obviously it doesn't matter, but just the like order and pattern person in me, that's how I would do that. So we got an end, middle, left, right, middle, left, right, middle, left, right, middle. So then I love it. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go with that. And then we can pick our backgrounds that work best. So like on this card, I would not pick a white because there's a lot of white on the ends. This one too. I'm probably gonna choose, just for more variety on this one, I'm going to bring in the pink or the yellow. Probably I won't want pink on these ones because to me, I don't like that pink with this pink. So I'm going to choose pink for this card and put that off to the side. And then probably on this card, because it's got a lot of pink, I'm going to choose green. And then free up those neutrals for something else. And then kind of like yellow for this one. Work with those birds there. So there are many ways. Whatever rationale you have that makes you feel good about your choice for background, go with that. Does crumb cake look cool for that? On the first, I try to use 4 different colors. So we've already used the 4 colors. So we should go with a neutral. And since let's check it out. Crumb cake, I think that looks neat. Or white, nice and crisp. Just because I'm feeling it, I'm going to do the crumb cake on this one. Alright, so then we'll quickly assemble those and set these card bases aside. just because there's so many little pieces. I wasn't sure going in how I was going to do this, like prep all of them like this and then let you assemble at the end. But because it's recorded, if you don't want to watch all this slow stuff, you can pause it and skip, or you can let me talk while you're doing it for something to hear. So then we'll take out these, grab my snail, and when I do this, I line them up kind of how I think, and then lift them up individually and put them down. Yep, so I got a little bit too much room over here. That's pretty good. Sometimes I hold down, whoops, move just a ton. So I need green up. And I'm just doing, that was a little bit off camera, 2 on these I think is pretty good. Okay. And then middle. And then end. Okay, I'm gonna pause and sit down to do this part because I have to see in the, stand up to see in the camera, and my back's hurting a little bit. So I will assemble the rest of these panels and then jump back on to put these 3 pieces on with a ribbon and the rest of it. Okay, I'm back. So I've got all my little panels ready to go on. So then we'll stick those. So nothing behind that. The ribbon and the punch is going to go on top. Unless you want to pop yours up. There's intentionally a little larger border on the top and the bottom. Sometimes it's fun to not have it exactly predictable. Something a little different. Oh, I like this. Brings out those green leaves a lot. This is turning out, I was a little iffy when I realized I'd cut those other DSP the wrong way for that design to, you know, the birds were going to be sideways. I like how this is turning out. I haven't used the key stuff very much, but it's cute with the birds. I think that in the new catalog, I'm filming this in middle of May 2020. We have a new catalog starting June 3rd, 2020, and I usually get all the DSPs even if I don't get a whole suite. And I think I'm gonna get that and try a double wonder like this with every pack, just to it kind of gets you using it, makes you look at the designs, sort through them. I hope I was on camera when I did that. Either way, you can figure out how to attach those and center them. Okay, oh, I like this with the crumb cake. I wasn't sure if I was gonna love it, but it's really cool. There's sometimes it's like any color could work great with the DSP that's on there. So then let's do our punching, stamping first and then punching. And just because it was easy, I just chose the corresponding stamps that you can obviously mix it up with whatever you have. I like this one a lot. The world needs more of you. It could be birthday or thank you or just because, but I think especially for some really kind people, really thoughtful people, that can be such a fitting phrase. The world needs more of you. And I mean, this punch is a pretty label punch. I have used it so much. I like a lot of my punches, but this one would fit nicely on there. I don't think that'll be too open, and if it is, we can fill in with some rhinestones. But I feel like that's the one I want to use. And to make it simple on yourself, you can choose just one color ink, or you can personalize it. Like, let's see if we can pick one that would go well for all of these. I'm thinking the green could be cool, or the poppy. Black's always a nice, I think maybe brown. What ribbons do I have for this one? These 4 are super long. Oh, this is probably what I had chosen for this one because it just goes along in the back. So then I'm probably going to want some color. I think I'm going to do the espresso. Yeah. Yeah. I'm still thinking. Now, just because this is going to be pretty easy to center, and I want to make sure that this fits with 4, usually you want to stamp first, but I want to make sure this fits, so I'm going to go a little bit out of the normal order and punch first, because then I think we might be able to get 2 more out of here later that we need on another card. I'll do those later. So you might need to grab a little bit of extra from here, but for now we're going to use these 4. I just love how they look like clouds. It's so cute. Imagine if this was wood. You would not be able to do this with a wood stamp. I sometimes think of how glad I am that we don't really do wood anymore. It's almost impossible for me to stamp with a wood. I just don't even know how to use it. Okay, so then these go on really fast and easy. So I have been using my Stampin' Up! Paper Pumpkin Kit thingies, but just because it goes on a little faster when you use the roll, I will do that for the video. So I put one around the end to make sure that comes off, somewhere in the middle, and then also here. And then we're just gonna center it. Okay, and I will do that part off camera. Okay, I'm back. So I've got my ribbons on here, and I'm loving the colors. I love this idea so much. Quick and simple, but you're still doing a lot of little things, and you feel like you're really getting into the crafting. So while I was off camera, I also turned over all my punches and did 4-dimensionals. You could get away with less, but I feel like things will sag and I'll notice. So then I took all the thingies off of them, the backings, and then we'll put it, oh, maybe we shouldn't have put it on the sides. Yep, that was silly of me. Because of the ribbon that I chose being a little thicker, I didn't need those side ones, but we're past that. So then we'll just stick all these down. Oh, I'm covering up my little bird. That's okay. Silly, silly me. Whoopsies. Nothing covering up there. And okay. So we've got that, and that is done. Let's look at them without all that extra color in there. And I purposely chose 4 or 5 colors that would be fine to write on the inside. And so if you have a color to say that's dark, like this class where I did the black and the brown, then I just cut a piece to put in here. And because I had a larger border here, I cut the inside to be 5 by 3 or 5 by 3 3/4. So a 1/2 inch border all around. So that's that. And now you could easily dress this up with some leaves, trinkets, or rhinestones. I'm not going to do the embellishing here because you can choose whatever you have and what you want to do. They look super great like this, especially with these busier patterns, but you can definitely add like groups of 3 we like 2 up here and 1 down here kind of thing. Is what comes to mind. And then the next ones we're going to work with, we're going to set this aside and bring in these 4. Actually, for a second, we're going to bring back this, and we'll just set it on top. It'll be fine. And we're gonna be doing these. I'll show you how this is gonna work, and then I can remind you of this too. So on the inside of these other ones, I left it blank when I didn't need to be able to write in there. And when you want to put this back on, you sometimes just have to bend the card a little bit to get it back over, and then you can slide it. But on this one, I did it by 2 7/8 by 5 1/4. I had tried 3. It's just, you need a little bit of wiggle room. So I did 2 7/8 by 5 1/4, and then you'll be able to write on the inside too. So we're gonna be taking our card bases and scoring here at, I think it's 1 1/2. 1 1/4. Yeah, 1 1/4. So just let me put this back on so I don't forget. Oh yeah, and then on a dark card base, instead of stamping, I did embossing there with a white. Okay, so, oh, we gotta choose our card bases first. Where did I hide them? Here they are. So we've got 2 of the whites left still and 1 of the colors. So I do want to pull these out. Let's figure out our thingies. So then we'll do 2 of each on this one. That's why I had 2 in my mind last time. Okay, so 2 keys, 2 pinks, 2 flowers, 2 birds. So then, I don't have to turn over. What am I trying to do? So if I did this and this, actually, I do. Oops, I keep turning things. Something with a yellow. That will call out the yellows. We'll use yellow here and pink. Maybe this flower has more pink in there. We'll think of that for now and see if we need a yellow for anything. I think I'm going to use a white. I don't want to have 2 whites left. So white and pink would be cute. I really like that. I like the white and the green. Oh, if I go like this, then you can still see the colors that I've chosen a little bit up there. How about that? And then move down here what we're working with. 4 more. This one is actually working well. I can see in here. That I like. So then I think I'm gonna go. Now sometimes if you think of it like this too, you can think of green on the inside. Yeah. No, I think this one would be the front and then green on the inside. We'll go with that. I kind of like the most important one to be on the outer flap and then the background piece one to be on the... Oh, this does look nice. Oh, that's a pink one already. We've got a crumb cake. I mean, we've already got a white base. I don't know, I said pink. So this could go here, or we could leave a green. Yeah, why don't we... Oh, we've got a white one either way. I was thinking maybe to not have both the neutrals. But I think I like this pink with that. So we'll do these 4. And we'll save these, and hopefully they'll work out well with the other 2. Oh, they will. They're white and green. The green will be with the leaves, and the white goes with everything. Okay, so then I'm going to just kind of gently scoot these off to the side. I'll go like this so you can still see everything. And then I'll set these off camera down here while I do my scoring. So I'm going to go over here, bring you a little bit closer. I like how this extends past where I'm going to be scoring. I need it at 1 1/4. And my scoring is the light gray one. I can put those back together. 1 1/4. And 1 1/4. And the last one, 1 1/4. Okay. So then I won't need that scoring. Oh, I'll need it for cutting. I forgot. So then we're going to grab a bone folder if you want. And we wanna stamp down here, but I am going to, yeah, we'll stamp. Okay, this is what we'll do. Just to keep it in the right order, we will have white, yellow, pink, and crumb cake. And I will keep these in the same order, and these will be in the same order, and then we won't get mixed up. So then let's do thank you for being you, because then that can be a thank you or a birthday, and it's nice and little to fit down in the corner. And now I will be stamping on the pink and the yellow. So I think I'm going to stick with the early espresso. I think that'll be a good one for this. And so we'll just all of them down here. Oh, a little bit off. Okay. Oh, and then I just have to work backwards. Okay. And now we can do our adhering. Our folding. Move it down. I don't have to cut anymore. Okay. A little wonky, but that's not too bad. The rest of them are a little straighter. And then okay. So then I was at the top, and I am going to go like that. Do 2 strips probably down here would be nice coverage. And you want to have this one kind of here when you're doing the bottom flap one, just so you can make sure you center it with how they're going to be seeing it, rather than just lining it up however you want. Like here, I really recommend holding this one down so you know how much of a area you're working with. You can center or line up the tops too. Gentle. Don't press until you think you've got it where you want. Oh, I like this. Very pretty. And if the bright card bases aren't your style, you don't have to have quite the variety. You could have like 4 card bases of white and 4 of crumb cake and the green. Like, I'm kind of liking those a little bit better than these. They're still going to be fine, and they might work really cool on the last 2 cards that I'm not envisioning. But so yeah, you can tailor this. You don't have to have 5 different cardstock bases. You could just have a couple that you like the best. So we'll set this aside, and bring out this one. I guess it does sometimes pay to do the work on camera because you think of little tips like that. Then I think I'm gonna go this way. Yeah, I just feel like I like the busier, more focal point patterns on top. All right, so we're just doing this second strip here. I'm really looking forward to seeing how these look when we tie the ribbon around them. I love that finished look, especially when you've got a couple of the same layout, different patterns, and you just array them all and see them all together. So pretty. Alright, so then, oh, I got them a little mixed up over there. I think I remember this one because of all the dark pink was on here. I already got that one a little bit. I'm going to reinforce that. Never think to use my bone folder unless I'm doing a bunch at a time, because then after a couple times your fingers get a little worn out. So I like the busy main pattern in front. Oh, these are really working out. I can't get over how great this is all turning out. So yesterday I filmed the earlier parts of this video, and then I just started filming this today on Mother's Day in 2020, and it's a whole different feeling. Yesterday was so sunny and just gorgeous, and today I think it's snowing outside. There was some like sleety snow coming down. Like, oh, I see now why I saw a couple moms posting about doing Mother's Day activities yesterday. They looked ahead at the weather. Okay, last one. So I've got some bright nails to perk me up a little bit. I just did those last night right before I did the video, actually. Oops. I think tonight I will have to put some of these cards to use and write out my May birthday. Get my May birthday cards ready. Maybe not these ones, but I did birthdays on the other two sets. Get some of those going. Oh, I felt that running out. Got another one handy. And last one. Ooh, beautiful. Okay, so now we can tie our ribbons. And so I've got yellows I've cut already for these ones. That's gonna look cute. Yellow on yellow. So a couple different ways you can do the bow. It looks like on these ones I just knotted it. So I guess you won't do a bow. It will go a little bit quicker. You could do a bow if you wanted, but I do the knots. Then people will realize if it's a knot, they'll probably just slide it off and will realize they don't have to untie it and then tie it again if they don't want to. That comes off pretty nicely. Scissors. Hiding off to the side. I always cut it a little bit long. I'm trying to get more in the habit of letting my bows be long, my ribbon ends be long. I used to tend to feel like I had to really minimize everything, but sometimes a longer look is pretty. I'm just gonna tie these real quick. A little bit too long over there. Oh, this one's nice. Brings out those yellows in the flower. This is a Daffodil Delight. I think it looks like some sort of crinkled seam binding, maybe? I don't really know what seam binding means, but it looks crinkled to me. I will check on that. If I can flip this over and get it through. There we go. And then I've got my white one over here. Oh, that's going to bring in that yellow bird really nicely too. As we've been going on walks with the girls, we do a walk every day while we're still not able to go places, and my husband and I are still trying to lose weight, just get in better shape, and so we do a walk every day, and the girls aren't usually really into it. They just want to stay inside and play or play outside. They don't want to walk, or really they get to ride in the stroller and walk a little bit at the end. And so we're trying to distract them by how many birds we can find, or which different birds there are, or, oh look, robins, girls, or did you see a different one? So there are these 4 for this layout. I like them. I think my favorite is the white, and then this one with that yellow and the flowers. Pretty, pretty. And you could dress this up with some rhinestones too, or pearls might be nice. Very simple and sweet look. And then we have 2 more here. So we've got our 2 card bases left. Sweep these little parts out of the way. So then we're going to bring these back in the shot so you can see what's left. So we're going to take these larger ones. They are, just in case you feel like you want to make sure, 3.5 by 2 1/4. Okay, so then we've got a flower and the keys, bird, and this. Now I might do this one for the bird because then all their faces are there. Alright, so then we're probably not going to want to put the green key one on a green. We'll want to split that up. And so then we'll put the pink one over here. And then it doesn't super matter which one of these we do because they're pretty much the same except for the birds added in there. So maybe I like the flowers a little bit better. I don't, keys with birds, not quite as, I guess flowers with keys, I don't know, but I just like that better. So that'll center on there. And then those little parts that we kind of left over, we're going to take. And so then this will fit nicely on here. A little bit of green on top and a little bit of pink there. Very nice. Okay. Move this off to the side. So this is going to be a 1/2 inch all around. So if you line this up, you can kind of count 2 over and then 2 down, and then that should, maybe it's like 1.5. Yeah, pretty much 1.5 cubes. Let's see how that goes then down here. 1.5. 1.5, yeah, kind of 1.5 and 1.5, and then you'll have a little bit of a gap which will get covered up. So you can have them as close together or far apart as you want. But yeah, it's kind of like a little less than 2 squares is how you can center that. And as always, you can just do a light touch and then pick it up if you need to. Readjust it. I think I want to go a little further down. That's better. On these ones I just did that one strip down the middle and then just a little like 1/8 of an inch kind of border there, and we'll flip and we will need 2 more punched sentiments for these cards. One, 2, and 1. Yeah, that's about it. Oops. I always feel like I have to have my paper straight to get a good handle on if my DSP is straight or not. My daughter came downstairs and she's in the storage part of our basement, so hopefully she won't get into too much trouble. Alright, she's heading back upstairs. So we'll put these to the side and we'll use my 2 ribbons left to tie a bow. So we are working on these last 2 hiding somewhere. Here we go. So then we'll be punching and tying a bow to put that down underneath. Grab my punch out again. I think I will do that same one right over here. Got a scrap paper. And I'm going to do The World Needs More of You again. That just makes a good birthday sentiment, which is what I need. Okay, I'm doing the stick with my brown. It's been working out well. Early espresso. Darkest brown we have right now. There's a beautiful new brown coming in the new in colors. I think it's called Cinnamon Cider. It's very warm. Looking forward to getting my hands on that. Just gonna blow on it a little bit because I re-inked my ink pad recently. As demonstrators, we get a complimentary catalog each time a new one comes out, and they sent them all out to us a week or 2 ago, and some people in my area in Racine got them about 3 days ago, but I haven't gotten mine yet. It's kind of like, oh, if they were in a different state, I wouldn't, think too much of it, but they're right like 15 minutes away from me. How do I not get this mail at the same time? It's hard not to get a little antsy. We have a PDF we get to see as well ahead of time. And then after they released the PDF, then they started mailing them out. But it's just so hard. You just can't notice everything when it's on a page that you can't really get closer to or take a better look. You just things just blend in. So I really just want to browse through that physical catalog and just really take your time and see what there is. But you have to wait a little bit longer. Use up some of those dimensional edges. So then this is May, but we already can order as demonstrators from the catalog. It goes live June 3rd. And so that's called pre-order. About a month ahead of time, demonstrators get to buy things from the new catalog to give us a chance to get to know things, work with them, build up our stock so that when the new catalog does go live to customers, we can already have some card glasses ready, start showing them, kind of give them tips and tricks, and help things go smoothly like that. So if you like that idea of getting things ahead of time or as early as you can, you always can sign up. Right now in May, you can join as a demonstrator and order from the current catalog and retiring products, as well as the pre-order and get some of those new products. So you can double dip right now as a demonstrator. So that looks really cool, but we get to still add this beautiful petal pink gold trim. And I said I was going to look at these. This is ruched ribbon. So it's a little bit off. Ruched is crinkled, but it's just the ruched. Then the Daffodil Delight. And then this one I used so much more than I thought I would. I just kind of ordered it because it was a ribbon I didn't have. And I didn't have any plans for it, but it has really come in handy. So it is petal pink metallic edge ribbon. I think it only comes with gold edge. So this is going to work out nicely. Now this one, I did do a bow. So I tried different ways sometimes. So I've got this looped like this, and then I'm going to loop, whoops, it let go. Loop it around, kind of grab on here, and then let it fold back on itself and pull under. And if I do it slowly, it gets a nice flat top on it. I always used to try to watch bow tutorials, and it was so hard to follow, but I would just do it anyways, and I just kept trying different things and paying attention to how I was doing and what worked and what didn't. And now, 6 years later, I feel like I'm a pretty decent bow tire. I think it happened a little bit before that, but if it's something you enjoy, or even if you don't enjoy but you just want to get better, just keep trying and it will get easier. Okay, a little bit bigger, like I said. Trying to get used to being, oh, and fudge with it, fuss with it. It doesn't always turn out perfectly. You can twist things around, tweak things a little bit. That is how you make it look so picture perfect. You just keep trying. Oh, a little bit long here. Okay, I'm just going to tie this one right away. Pretty nice. Tighten that up a little bit. Okay. Just a little bit off this edge down here. Oh, that is not angled. Angle in, angle in. There. Okay, flip these over. Get my glue dot. Make sure it comes off with the ribbon. Oh yeah, right down at the edge. I don't want it on because it just looked a little bit too busy then. Get this one on the glue dot. Whoopsies. Very beautiful. Okay. Fold those over, give you a good peek. Good look, I should say, at these two together. Alright, I just noticed that my camera stopped recording a little bit ago. So we are making a bonus card. You may remember we had those two little pieces that were 3.5 by
think it was 1.5 kind of thing. Anyways, so we just took those, so it was like these pieces together, and we cut it at 1 3/4. And so now we have these 4 pieces, I should say, that are 1 3/4 by 1.5. And so then we just grabbed another card base. So this is in addition to the 5 card stock pieces that you already had for the 10 card bases. We grabbed an 11th card base, and I chose crumb cake for this one. And like I said, we just cut those 2 pieces that were left along the 3.5 inch side. We cut it at 1 3/4, and then just kind of arranged them out like this. And I was just in the process of fixing it up a little bit. I think I need to move these ones over just a little bit. Yeah, so just kind of finagling with those. And I'm gonna fix it off camera still. Okay, so I got it where I think I like it, and just to give you an idea, it is about 7/8 inch. Yeah, 7/8 inch from either side, and then about 1/2 inch from the top and bottom, and then we just have like a little less than 1/4 inch as our in-between part. So that's how we have that. And then I just punched out another label punch, pretty label punch. And I'm gonna stick with my good old, because it's at hand, world needs more of you stamp. Oh, I got a little bit of a rocking motion. So I'm gonna slow down a second. Straight up, straight down, better. And I think I'm gonna go back to a little bit of this bigger one, take up a little bit more space. So then it's gonna be, this is a 5.5 if you want to measure it. Grab some of those glue dots again. They're just the best for ribbon. In the middle and on the other side. Whoops, that one didn't come on. Okay. So then, oops, line that up. Add some dimensionals. It's going to be so much fun to look at all these together. Center my words here and this curve there. And there we go. And I will probably add some of the leaf trinkets on here and complete this look a little bit. Oh, they are the bird ballad trinkets too. I forgot about those. I just been going with my leaf ones. All right, very sweet and simple. All right. Tropical Oasis Sweet. This red one, I didn't think I was gonna like the Poppy Parade. No, it's real red. But it just, I do like it. And then let's switch that up. I like this ribbon with it too. I wouldn't have thought of that ribbon with this sweet, but it really does have that pink in there. And then the 2, and then the extra. So there are 3 different ways or examples of this Double Wonder class with 3 different DSP designs. So I hope you're inspired to try this super cool Double Wonder class with some more DSPs. Leave me a comment on this YouTube if you don't mind, and let me know which DSPs you used or which ones you're excited to use. So thanks for your time. Have a good day.